Thank you very much. We now move on to Paul Moulton from Isle of Man Television. Good afternoon, Paul. Fast am I.
Good afternoon. Before my questions, I've had a message from the Steam Packet press office, and I think this is very important news. For Henrietta Ewart, please correct what you have said. Steam Packet crews have not been isolating when they come off duty at all. This has never been the case.
Well, that's what we understood, and that is what I personally understood from them to be the case. And that is why I thought I sat in a meeting with them over a week ago discussing the introduction of a testing regime to enable us to mitigate it. And I think you will also find that what they've just said from their press release is not in line with the policy document that they were sent jointly from DHSC and Cabinet Office on the 21st of January.
Well, that's from the Steam Packet directly.
To why they're saying what they're saying.
The Steam Packet, that is from them. And also I've heard from members of staff who've also said the same thing. So something's clearly gone awry on that one and obviously needs sorting. But anyway, I'll leave that with you. My first question is, clearly we've had this information, we broke this story this morning. We're still waiting for these contact places, and I've got lists because I've been talking to people. It seems very strange that we're at this stage of the evening and you're not going to want to release any information about particular areas of the Isle of Man that people might need to report if they've been in there for contact tracing. Why not have, even if it's not a complete list, start issuing what you can at this stage to the public so they can now prepare to contact 111 and make arrangements?
Well, it's protocols, Paul, that our team prepare a list of factually what are areas. And you have to remember, just because you might have been at a distance from someone who may have had COVID, our frontline team in 111 know where the areas are and they're building a picture and will, of course, hopefully this evening we will issue a list to all of the media outlets and on our social media and our government website advising people. But that has to be done when we know the real facts, not panic people and then realise later on that actually a certain venue isn't a serious place that we have concern with. I don't know, David or Dr. Ewart, if you want to expand.
If I may, Paul, contact tracing identifies high-risk venues. So it's not just about someone having been at a venue, it may be a low-risk venue. So in which case it wouldn't need to actually go out and actually ask people to be tested. So we've been through this with the previous clusters that we've had, and it's exactly the same process being employed today. So it is absolutely essential that contact tracing do the proper investigatory work, identify those venues that are high risk, and then we can publish the list of high-risk venues. And if we want to do any surveillance testing, or we feel we need to do surveillance testing off the back of it. But it's a very defined process. It can't go off speculation on social media or individual people saying, I think I was with someone in this area. It needs to be done in a proper forensic way, and that's why we have the actual manpower within contact tracing. Once that is completed, then the list will be published and the public can rely on that as being an authoritative list. And I'll bring the Director of Public Health in.
Yes, the Minister has very well described the process we use, and it links with the comment I made earlier about the importance of being systematic and focused on this and following through the lines of transmission. If we just at this stage notified a selection of areas that may be of concern or interest, we would have our testing procedures swamped by people who are at potentially much lower risk or no risk at all, and that would stop us actually following through the high risk transmission lines. So as the Minister says, that is why we need to keep focused and not make announcements prematurely. The other thing to note in that regard, of course, is that as always, if people develop symptoms that could be COVID-19, they should, as soon as possible, contact 111 for advice and testing if appropriate. So that doesn't change. And you should do that on the basis of symptoms, regardless of where you think you may or may not have been and whether you think that venue might have been a place where you might have been exposed. You need to notify 111 on the basis of symptoms, regardless of that. Thank you.
I've been talking to the person concerned, and he gave me the list of where he's been. If nothing else, it's information that surely needs to be in the public domain as soon as possible. But so be it. My next question, just to make it very clear, I think in the past it's been stated that the crews on board the Steam Packet don't mix. That's the Manx crews and the UK crews, and they clearly do. Again, I've been getting more information today. Do you accept that? And therefore, it's been an incredibly easy opportunity, which has proved that today that this is where we're going to get this cross-infection issues, or at least the possibility of getting the UK crew mixing with the Manx crew, which can pass on COVID. Do you accept that? And should that not be looked at straight away?
Well, obviously, Paul, the team are looking into see how this infection has happened. There are protocols in place to ensure the protection of Isle of Man crews mixing with the off-island crews, and also the protection for people travelling on the steam packet, coming across contact with crew members of the Isle of Man Steam Packet Company. So those protocols are there, they're in writing, and I'm sure it will be looked into, but I can't comment on anything that may be ongoing at this moment in time.